Hi guys and welcome. Captain Paul Clark here from Motor Yacht Loon. We're sitting here at anchor in Croatia. It's a beautiful day, but more importantly, our brand new 48-foot Anvera has just shown up. So let me give you a tour and we can tell you why we chose this boat and show you all the cool features. So this video is going to be mostly about our chase boat, why we have a chase boat, and everything we like to do with it. So let's go check it out. So one of the main reasons why we chose the Anvera is this right here. As you can see, the side door is coming down. It's going to make things very easy for our guests to get on and off the boat. So from Loon over to the Anvera and then back from the Anvera on board Loon. So it's a nice easy step. It's even closer when guests are doing it, but you can walk straight over, you're on the door here, and then you can come on over and you can grab your seat straight away. Also, when the boat is set up at anchor, you know, this boat is designed as a day sail boat. So as you're cruising along, the guests want to go snorkeling, we can put both the doors down. These seats here, the Trona chairs, are actually floatable. So we throw them off the back. Everyone can sort of lounge in the water, kids can snorkel and have a big day party away from the yacht. Moving forwards, we'll come around and come forward. This door also comes down. And then moving forwards, you've got a nice big seating area here. Two big benches, 4 people each per bench. There is a big table that goes here as well, a carbon fiber table, but we've taken it out right now because it is a chase boat for us and more of a people mover or limousine tender, that we don't really need the table in place, so it just makes it easier for people to walk through. Also, the table does drop down and turn into a big sunbed if we wanted to do that, but yet again, limousine tender with the features that we don't really need. One other really cool thing I didn't show you guys as we stepped over, Blair, if you want to come over here. She's got doors in the side which hold the sea bobs. So we've got 2 sea bobs on board. So as we go off and go do our excursions, we're off snorkeling, doing activities, open the doors, drop the sea bobs in. We've got our sea bobs as well, nice and tucked away, safely transporting. On our old tender, we used to have to lay them flat on the deck and they'd rattle all over the place and bang into things and all that. These ones now, nice and safely tucked away in the lockers there. If we keep coming up forwards, we've got the nice big seating area, as I said, speakers everywhere. We went for an extra upgraded speaker package. This thing is loud. It is absolutely insane. Maybe a little bit later on when we pull off a Loon and we go anchor up, we'll turn it up, we'll crank some, what do we want to crank there, Blair?
Oh, some Fleetwood Mac, hey?
Some Fleetwood Mac. For you, we'll crank some Fleetwood Mac and we'll show you what the stereo can do. Up forwards here, we've got 3 big helm chairs. Got the covers here, so I'll just move them out the way. 3 big helm chairs. We went with these ones because they do go flat like this, so you can still stand and be nice and comfortable. Armrests come down, and you can you sort of lock yourself in as you're going if it's a bit rougher and we're really bouncing. But also on a really nice calm day, you can put the seats up, nice and comfortable, and you're in the seats and you're kicking back. Over to the helm station, we've got I'll flip this chair back down. There we go. Over to the helm station, we've got a nice big 15-inch Garmin screen. Right now it's on navigation and cameras, but it does the whole boat. We can go into charts, we can do all kinds of cool stuff. But really Garmin, it's got all the switches, lights, cameras, all kinds of things. We can do engines. So, really integrated into the Garmin system. On the dash, we've got the switches that control the doors up and down, the windscreen wipers, underwater lights, courtesy lights, all the cool things there. Got our trim tabs, so when we're bringing her up and down, you're in a little bit of rougher weather, you can bring that bow up or down depending on how she's trimmed. Obviously got our throttles here. Autopilot, our Yanmar displays. The boat does have twin 370 V8 engines on board, making 740 horsepower of power, which is plenty enough. She propels her to about 41, 42 knots, which is plenty fast. We're not trying to break any speed records here. Anvera does do an upgraded engine package in this boat to put twin 600s in, 1200 horsepower. I believe that boat does a little over 55 knots, but as this boat is a people mover more than really anything else, we went with the lower engine package, as 40 knots is fast enough. We don't need to rattle people's teeth out as we're going from A to B. Over here, got the Yanmar joystick. We use it a lot, especially in the stern to dockings, which we'll show a little bit later in the video, where we can come in nice and smoothly. All the guests can jump on and off the swim platform nice and easily, and really maintain that precision driving. Should we keep going forwards before we head to the cabin?
Yeah, let's
so
do it.
we'll keep moving forwards, and you come up, nice step up here. It's got the big sun lounges up here. We'll normally put towels and stuff, so if the girls want to come out and lay out in the sun while we're, slow cruising around, they can come up. Cup holders in the lounges, we asked for them, just an extra little nice feature. Moving forwards, we've got 2 lockers up here. We've got this one, which is the chain locker for the anchor windlass. Also just a storage locker. We've got fenders, we've got lines, with the chain, and just a nice big storage locker, which a lot of boats are usually missing. So great feature to have for the deck crew. And then we've got the anchor windlass hose to wash it off as it's going. You can also lift the anchor from the helm station, but usually we have a spare deckhand on board that will come up here, because then he can keep keep his eyes on the anchor and make sure that it's coming home nicely. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask, this one here is the tow line. This is what we use to tow the boat. It's connected to 2 big solid stainless steel brackets just down in the front of the bow, which is through bolted, big backing plates. Basically, this boat's going to go wherever Loon goes. It's Spectra, as you can see, it's nice and thick. Then we have another big tow line about 160 feet coming off 50 meters, coming off the back of Loon. Come on here, big clip, and we tow it. So we tow this boat usually, if anything, over about a 2-hour passage on Loon. So what's that, about 24, 25 miles. Basically that saves on wear and tear on the Anvera, keeps her engine hours down. We're not burning fuel. Also, it allows the tender driver, the deckhand on board, jump back on board Loon. He can have lunch, he can have his break. He can, get on with other projects on Loon, so he's not, wasting his manpower driving this. So she just sits behind, she's carbon fiber, she tows really nicely, she's quite light, so Loon doesn't even really notice that she's there.
Oh, what's that, Paul?
Oh, what's this?
Yeah.
This video is about the Anvera, but that right there, that's our Super Ski Nautique. Definitely one of the more fun toys on board. That one is a pure toy. As you can see today, nice and calm. Over the other side of Loon, actually, it is glass calm, lake-like, and so we're going to go and do some wakeboarding a little bit later on, but we're going to focus on the Anvera right now. So coming back down the side, come down the steps there, watch that blur. And we come down into the cabin. So 3 big steps. So with the bigger chase boat, having a good cabin is a big feature. Basically, we can move people down here as well. So if it's, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, although we like it to be, but if it is one of those rougher days, say sideways rain, not the best, guests can come down here and still be comfortable. We've got 1, 2, 3 big seats and got the bed up here. Another great feature when we're in the south of France or the Amalfi Coast, guests are going out to Michelin star restaurants. The girls have all got their hair done, so they can come down here right in comfort while without getting their hair all windswept and everything. So, having that larger chase boat allows us to have the bigger cabin. She does have a big queen size V-berth up forwards. It's not made right now. We actually tried to remove it and build, but we were a little too far along. No one will ever sleep down here, but it is an extra feature. Maybe if we bring on an extra crew member for a trip and we need to have a chase boat driver or something, the boat does have air conditioning and it's a nice, just an extra bed. But as of now, we're never really planning on using it. If you keep coming down, you want to come down with me, Blair? From our other center console, this boat does have a full bathroom. It's got a full electric working toilet with a hot black water holding tank. Got a full stand-up shower, and a vanity there. So just another great feature if we are doing longer runs from Loon to the dock, or sometimes the guests are just ashore. They're maybe in a small Italian port or something, and maybe they can't find a really nice and clean public toilet. The tender will always be wherever the guests are, so they can come back and have their own privacy and a nice clean bathroom and then continue on with their business. What else can we point out down here? Behind Blair is all the main switch panels. So you've got batteries and all the switches and breakers and everything like that. So Blair will show some B-roll of that a little bit later on. We've also got our main switch panel here. which has all the breakers, you know, nav lights, all the electronics, batteries, a windlass breaker. When we plug in shore power, she'll light up here. As you can see right now, the batteries are at 12.6 volts, so they're nice and charged. We've got a couple of other batteries on, but you know, nice and accessible. So if we ever need to reset a breaker nice and quickly, the captain of the tender can run down, or the deckhand can come down and flick some breakers on and off and reset them. Yeah, maybe should we go and have a look in the engine bay? We'll maybe call Alex and have a chat with him.
I think so. Let's do it.
All right, so let's shoot back upstairs. While the deckhands are responsible for driving the boat and running the guests around, it's really the engineers that look after all the systems and make sure that she's running every day. So we've called Chief Engineer Alex out of Loon, out of the engine room, and brought him on board. So he's going to walk us through what she has on board, her power, and what she can do downstairs. So if we come over here, Alex, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, whatever.
Cheers, mate. So if you want to open this up for us, please. So down below, we have the 2 Yanmar engines. There's also the generator, the batteries, and basically all the systems that power the boat.
Pretty much everything is here except a few electrical components on the forward end for the house battery stuff right there. Under here, we've got our 2 Yanmar engines, combined horsepower of 720, direct drive through the gearbox here. Brilliant pieces of kit. Work with these engines a lot, and I'm really looking forward to keeping these running. We've got a planned maintenance system all set up for this already. We're going to keep on top of this, and it's going to run perfectly for as long as we possibly can. You'll be able to see now. So these are the Yanmar's 8LV 370s. Behind our engines here, we have our 3.5 kilowatt generator, and this is powering our water heaters and our AC, as well as anything that we plug in. Like power tools.
Yeah, it's like power tools. Like the margarita mixer. That's what you're supposed to say.
Most important power tool.
The most important power tool. The blender, so the girls can make the fresh margaritas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oof, sounds fantastic.
So also down in this engine bay, we have a vast amount of machinery. Down here, we've got our service batteries and our starter batteries for the engines. These are all separate, and they can be paralleled if we needed to. Just around from here, we have an impressive 1.5 cubic meter fuel capacity.
That's 1,500 liters in normal torque.
1,500 liters, yep. And further around, we have hydraulics here. So this is operating the 2 side platforms, giving us this huge, huge space on the aft here, as well as our steering. Very impressive steering on here, especially with joystick control. It gives these guys so much control when maneuvering this boat. Further on from here, we have our passerelle control, our gangway here, which is lifting and dropping into the water. It makes for a very good swim ladder as well. I think that's just about it in here.
Yeah, a few other things. As you can see, everything is black downstairs as well. The boat is full carbon fiber, so you can see even in the bilges, unlike a lot of other glass boats, traditional yachts with the white bilges, the painted white bilges, she's got full carbon fiber everywhere. This boat has been built to be as light as possible, so that she also runs fast, she tows well, and she handles greatly. Even the door here is super lightweight. The entire boat is being carbon fiber. It's so rigid and so strong, but really with that focus of the lightweight. So and then also touching on the PMS, the planned maintenance system that you were talking about. So in our previous video, when in the engine room tour, we talked on that. We have a system on board called IDEA that basically tells Alex what needs to be done and when. So we get the manuals from the Yanmars, we get the manuals from the generators and all the systems on board, and then we keep track of all the hours. So the engines are at 50, 100, 200, 300 hours. A little bell will go off in the IDEA system and say, hey, we need to do an oil change, we need to do a gear oil change, change filters.
And on top of that, we've also got our weekly routines, and there's some really nice features on these engines. So even things like just checking the oil, we can check the oil on both sides of both engines. It gives us really nice access, so we can keep on top of this. So we're doing this as often as we can. If the boat's not run so much, we're doing this on a weekly. If it's run more often, we'll be trying to get in here every day and just doing a few extra checks, checking the coolant levels, checking the steering levels, just always keeping on top of things and keeping this in the best condition we can.
Cool. Well, Alex, thank you for joining us, mate. Thank you for running us through this.
Get me some sunshine.
Excellent. And don't get burnt, mate. Perfect. All right. Well, I think it's time. Maybe we'll pull it off the boat now and we'll go for a little burn. What we'll do is we'll anchor it up somewhere not nearby Loon, and we'll put the awnings up, throw the sea bobs in, put the swim ladder in, and show you guys what she looks like when she's fully set up. So let's go for a run. The comfort and the quietness of this boat is absolutely spectacular. We're just slow cruising now. I'm just gonna idle ahead. We've got 550 RPM on both of the engines, and we're doing about, 5-6 knots. Super, and this is like a nice pulling into marinas, sunset cruise speed, but I'll bring her up now and let's stretch her legs and see where she can go. So we'll start bringing her up. You ready, Blair?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's do it. So I'll keep it on the engines. The Garmin's normally split screen with navigation. Luckily here in Croatia, deep water everywhere. As long as I don't hit land, I'm not gonna hit anything. I know these waters well. So we'll keep the navigation off, and we'll keep the engine telemetry up so everyone can see what's going on. Okay, so we've just brought her up to speed. We're doing a little over 40 knots, 41 knots at 3850 RPM. I've got the engines in sync. So both the engines have exactly the same RPMs here, so they're nice and balanced and in tune. Water's nice and flat. The boat's just absolutely loving it and eating. You can see she's up on the plane, absolutely flying here. She's going on. What else can I tell you? Fuel burn we're burning about 145 liters an hour right now, which for a vessel of this size and this power is actually pretty decent. The Anveras being all carbon, they're so lightweight, so they really do get up and get moving. The beauty of having a chase boat like this, the 48-foot Anvera, having a big towed or follow-behind chase boat, is that it allows us to get to and from the loon and to a shore quickly. The guest went off on a hike about 7-8 miles away from where we're anchored, but what we can do is we can pile all the people in, 10, 15 odd people, and we can cover that ground very quickly, comfortably, and more importantly, safely, and go do activities without having to completely pick up the anchor on loon and move that distance, which would take over an hour, or use the small onboard tenders that we have, and everyone will be cramped and maybe getting wet and not as comfortable. Whereas on this, everyone can relax, we turn the music up, everyone has cold drinks, and we quickly get to that next destination. So that's why we love having a follow-behind towed chase boat. So as we hit the no-wake zone here, we'll just bring it down off the plane. We're always cautious of our wake and what it causes to everybody else. So like most boats, what you've actually got to do is you got to come all the way down, sit her in neutral, you wait for the back to pop up, and there you go. You see the bow comes down, the bum comes up, and then we kick ahead, and then we can continue on without throwing out a big wake and annoying everybody in the anchorage. So one of the main reasons why we wanted an Anvera or a med style boat over here was to be able to do this type of pickup drop off rather than having to dock the boat side to every time we're picking up and dropping off guests like we had to do with the Everglades we used to have, which had the outboards on the back. This one with the nice big open transom and the inboard engines allows me to spin her around and then with the joystick back it in while all the guests just quickly jump on the back. So we're about to do that now. And this makes getting guests on and off the boat much, much easier and much faster. So easy for everyone. We don't have to get lines and fenders out, deckhands aren't running around, and it's just a nice, safe, quick and easy transition. So let's get it done. So right now we just picked up the guests. There's 12 of them behind us. They're all sitting comfortably, kicking back, having a beer after their hike. We've got 6 crew members on board, so 18 people on board this boat. Everyone's comfortable, everyone's dry. That is why we have the large chase boats, to have that extra space. No one's sitting on top of each other, and it's a nice cruise, 7-8 miles back to Loon. Okay, so I've got deckhands Maddie and Franco on board. We're just about to fire up and we'll move around to the other side. So let's fire up. Keys are downstairs with all the battery switches. So if I press these buttons, they start her up. So here we go, there goes port. You can hear her firing up now. And there goes starboard. As you can hear, nice and quiet. As there's a little bit of wind on our port bow, we're just going to use the joystick and the bow thruster to walk her off. So there we go, got the joystick engaged. All right, boys, you can let the lines go. and I'm gonna start. There goes the bow line, there goes the stern line, and then we're just gonna thrust her off. Just crab walk the boat all the way out. So, as you can see, with these newer boats and the joystick technology, let the computer do it all, work smarter, not harder, and we're just gonna crab walk all the way out until we're a safe distance away. Take command back on the throttles, both ahead, and away we go. So even, you know, even a deckhand can drive this boat. But you know, a little bit windier today, a little bit tougher, especially when you're being blown hard onto loon or hard onto a dock. To be able to have that bow thruster and that joystick technology, where to be able to sideways walk the boat nice and easy without having to split and twist the wheel and do all that kind of stuff, really makes things easier. A lot less damage on the boat, a lot less damage on both boats, wear and tear. So it definitely a nice addition to have. Cool, we're just going to come around the bow of loon. As I said before, there's that, you know, maybe 20 knots of wind now on our port side. We're going to come around. We're just going to drop anchor in the lee over here, so we've got some nice flat water. And then we're going to set her up. We're going to put the awnings out, put her into party mode, so you guys can see what it looks like on a day when we go snorkeling or diving, or just hanging out and having some cocktails and not being on the loon. So not too much further, and we'll drop the anchor. So spin around, come up head to wind, and then what we're going to do, I've actually got a camera on the bow of this boat, so I hit the camera, I can see the anchor. Really great feature to have. Right here I got the quick anchor chain, and I just press the down button and away she comes. And there she goes. 1 meter, 2 meters, warning. Okay, so that's the anchor set now. We're sitting in about 20 meters of water just next to loon. What we're going to do is we're going to put her in party mode now. So the really cool thing is she has 4 big carbon poles that go in. They slot into nice stainless steel receivers, and then we put a big awning up out the back, drop the doors down, throw the chairs in, throw the sea bob in the water, and then you can see what it looks like when we're sitting at anchor with the guests on, and maybe we want to do a little bit of snorkeling in behind us and just hang out on the boat. So let's get her set up. Blair will do maybe a little time lapse now. So let's go. So Anvera has thought of everything. We have a nice big awning that goes on up here. The poles are actually kept in the side doors here. So I have this little key. What I do is I open this guy, flip it open, secret little hatch opens up, and then we've got the poles in here. So Maddie, Franco, I'll pass you these guys. This is a forward starboard pole. So if you want to take that one, she slots in. And then we've got this one here, which is our aft one. Keep coming out. Carbon fiber poles, they weigh about half a kilo each, which is a super nice feature. Franco, they just go in there, put it in, down, and then slot it. Pull the ones out for the port side over on this side. And then after that, all we've got to do is put the awning up. So really nice feature. So as you can see, we've got the lounges in the water, we've got the doors open, the passerelles down, the sea bobs are here. The guys were just, you know, e-foiling around, but look at all this space. This is one of the other features that really drew us to this Anvera. Once the doors are down, you have this massive dance floor platform back here. So just think of all the activities you can do here. Also, just for yacht operations, you know, we can use it if we need to carry big items, large trash runs, really anything that we just need a large space for that the smaller tenders can't do. You know, this area is amazing. So we're super stoked with the Anvera. Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're so pumped to have it, and just all its many features. So I mean, drop us some comments below if there's anything else that you want to see or more explained. We actually did have a comment last week on one of our other Tender and Toys videos from the Arvid, and he said, love the behind the scenes videos and really looking forward to the walkthrough of a completed chase boat. In that video, please give some details of the tasks of the boat we'll have to do in support of the larger vessel. Why do you guys need one? Is it always with loon, or does it stay in the vicinity when cold? Who among the crew will be operating and using it, and why? So that's actually a really good question. The chase boat does stay with us. This one is our Mediterranean chase boat, so it will stay whenever loon is in the Med. This one will stay with the boat. When loon goes across to the Caribbean, we'll leave this one, we'll put it in storage, and we'll usually give it back to Anvera so they can do any sort of work that's needed, upgrades, whatever we need. Who operates it? Myself. I usually drive it along with Tyler and then Maddie, and most of the deckhands do drive it. This being that she is 14 meters long, the boys do require to have a Yachtmaster license to drive it. So any of our qualified deckhands, which is pretty much about all of them, are actually able to drive it. Most of the time it does we tow it behind on the long distance moves. On the shorter ones, we'll just drive it between anchorages. What else? You know, it's just a people mover. It is really, you know, it is our limousine tender. You know, 5-10 years ago, a lot of the larger yachts would have limousine tenders, you know, enclosed roof, and they're only about 7 or 8 meters long. And so they're really actually, that version of yachting's kind of gone away, and having the larger chase boats now, because you can go further, go faster, and be more comfortable. And then just in operations of the boat, you saw maybe last week where the boys had to run from Positano to Capri to do a provision run. The fact that we have a 50-foot, 48-foot boat now that can just go from A to B super fast. If, you know, the guests have a request for something that we don't have on board, it can peel off, go, burn, pick up what we need, and get back to the vessel. So the chase boats really are a great tool in our toolbox of everything that we have on board. But I think that's about it. Guys, we love our Anvera. If you do have any comments, please, you know, drop them in the comments below and we'll try our best to answer them. But besides that, hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see you next week.